Lauren Boebert, you have the job, dude. Like, you guys have the House, the Senate, and the executive office. What are you doing? Where are the results, man? While hardworking people are working with no pay, right? Are like, get out of here. Like, BS. BS.
I talk about Lauren Boebert on this show a lot as well, because I think she's just a reprehensible human being. Just awful. She shouldn't be representing anybody. And, well, the Democrat that is trying to retire, for lack of a better term, Lauren Boebert, in Colorado's 4th Congressional District, joins me right now. Her name is Trisha Calvarese, and she's been on this program before. Trisha, it is great to see you. How are you?
Hey, excellent to see you. She ain't doing her job. It's time to fire her, man.
I think it's time to fire a lot of people, and absolutely Lauren Boebert is certainly one of them. I want to just get your thoughts on this. I mean, what do you make of the fact that people, obviously in your district and in Colorado, all over the country, are going to be losing not only their medical benefits soon enough, but food stamps tomorrow? I'm just wondering, from a human perspective, how you feel about what's going on right now during this government shutdown.
I'm heartbroken. It is just absolutely devastating. And this is just the tip of the iceberg. We're looking at the collapse of the American food system. People don't understand that. Colorado has lost more farms than any other state in the country. Okay. It's the second largest economic driver for Colorado, and our small farmers are getting crushed. Where do you think your food comes from? It's the people who grow it, the people who actually are doing the hard work. Lauren Boebert has been on vacation, taking our taxpayer funded salary. And she has the best healthcare in the country, and she's not showing up. She's not talking to farmers. She's not talking about them, about what's going to happen to our cattlemen and women when you flood our market with a bunch of beef from Argentina. Has its place, right? But when you upset markets like that, it hurts these people who have gone through lean times. They're getting crushed. And I'll tell you what, I was just out in rural Colorado last week. We went to Lamar. We went to a faith-based food bank. They are already seeing an uptick. This is before SNAP is going to be cut and is being weaponized. They serve some 1,600 people a month. Recently, in the last 2 weeks, they served 400. And then get this, there's a Safeway. That's one of the only food options beside Walmart in that area. The Safeway is closing. It's decided to up and leave, and they're pulling their $30,000 grant that they give to this food bank every year. It is a crisis. We are on the brink of a food crisis. I see no solutions from her. She hasn't held a single in-person town hall to deal with any of these issues. Meanwhile, I'm showing up on farms. I'm talking to our ranchers. I am working to try to find the solves here, because the food ain't optional. Right? It's not optional. And I'm seeing no solutions from Lauren Boebert.
And Lauren Boebert was one of many Republicans that helped pass this tax cut that'll give $100 billion annually to the richest 1% in this country. I'm wondering how they have an argument for wasteful spending, as they would call it, even when it comes to healthcare or food benefits. And yet they've given the top one, or going to be giving the top 1%, $100 billion tax cut in the next year.
Oh my goodness, when our rural hospitals are in the red, they are already in the red. That's critical infrastructure. Those hospitals support the communities where our people are growing our food. And you know what? We're already seeing the impacts. An assisted living facility in Lyman, has closed. That is one of the only assisted living facilities for 150 miles on the I-70 corridor. This is unacceptable.
I completely agree with you. If you're just joining us, her name is Trisha Calvarese. She is running in Colorado's 4th Congressional District. Her opponent, Lauren Boebert. I've had some choice words for her over the years, that is for sure. Now, I have to say this. I disagree with Lauren Boebert on almost everything. Listen, I think she's despicable. However, I do want to get your thoughts on this, because I kind of do agree with her on this. She is one of the few, I believe, that Marjorie Taylor Greene and a few other Republicans have come forward, Nancy Mace, who I also think is a disgraceful person, but they believe that the Epstein files should be released. I wanted to get your thoughts on that. And why do you think all of a sudden now Lauren Boebert and some of these other MAGA Republicans all of a sudden now are talking about getting these, even though they haven't been released, and I don't think they will? What do you make of that?
Okay, completely agree. Excellent. Release them. I haven't heard a word from her, though. Beyond the one that she signed the discharge petition, haven't heard a word. And where are the policies? I was the only candidate at Colorado's inaugural Digital Safety Summit, which was hosted by Exodus Road. A Republican actually invited me. We are facing a crisis that we need to get in front of it. 1 in 5 children online has been sexploited. That's where they end up sending explicit images because they're being blackmailed. And I had the honor of meeting Rep. Brandon Guffey. He's a South Carolina Republican state rep. Shared the story of how his son was exploited into sharing content and tragically took his own life. They passed Gavin's Law, making that a crime to extort minors online. I will work with any Republican. I will work with anybody to protect kids, to hold big tech accountable for a profit model that profits off of child exploitation. Where are Lauren Boebert's bills? Where is her legislation? I haven't seen anything. She came out, signed that discharge petition. Then you know what she started focusing on? Aliens, UFOs, if those are real. Meanwhile, I'm doing the actual work. I'm meeting with counterparts that I can work with on the other side. We have to move on this. These are real, like kids are being exploited. Like trafficking is a real issue. There is no mandatory sentencing for people who purchase sex from minors. Can you believe that? Like,
yeah, I'm with you.
Let's get it done, guys.
Yeah, and you talk about priorities, not just with Lauren Boebert, but with MAGA Republicans in general. It was Caroline Leavitt at a press conference just the other day that said, quote, Donald Trump's top priority right now is the ballroom. You have people that are going to be losing their health care benefits in this big and awful bill. You have people tomorrow, millions that are not going to be getting the food benefits that they need to survive. And Caroline Leavitt said Donald Trump's, quote, top priority is the ballroom. I mean, what do you make of that?
Okay, look at who's funding this ballroom. It is that we don't have capitalism in America. This is corporatism. One of the biggest funders, JBS. There is a monopoly in meatpacking. You got 4 of them that process some 80 to 85% of all meat slaughter in the United States of America. In Colorado, we just have 2. And JBS is foreign owned. And now they're buying a ballroom. Where, like, meanwhile, our local producers are getting, that's a duopoly. That is price fixing. That's right. Not where are our capitalists? Where are our free market folks, right? Who are supposed to stand up for the little guy. I don't see them anywhere. So you call me whatever the hell you want to call me. Like what am I for Halloween? I hope I'm not the ghost of the American middle class because it's dying and we need folks to step up and to actually fight for us.
And, I wanted to, I wanted to ask you a little bit more about what you talked about with Lauren Boebert being on vacation, right? Because the MAGA Republicans, Mike Johnson and others are blaming the Democrats for this. Yet, correct me if I'm wrong, Hakeem Jeffries and Chuck Schumer have been begging the Republicans to come back to work and sit at the table and try to negotiate. What has Lauren Boebert done?
Has not showed up for an in-person town hall. Has not shown her face in our district to take questions, to hear from people, to listen to the lived experience of what folks are going through. I would not be doing this if I had not been humbled by the death of my own parents. Okay, actually 2 years ago today, my mother died. She was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer at the beginning of October 2023. Got very little time with her. And at the same time, my dad was dying of kidney cancer. Our healthcare system is messed up. It doesn't work for anybody. And just to be able to do no work, go on vacation, have your health care for you and your family, I don't know how you could do that. I just don't. And you know what? And this is, I was raised Catholic. I've returned to the Catholic church that I was raised in. I actually met with my priest yesterday because I was like, I'm going to start talking about the social justice that our faith teaches us. And he said, rock and roll, sis, you go on. Because we got to get back to that. It's not Christian. To the least among us, right? What you do to the least of your brothers and sisters, you do to me.
Trisha, I want to talk to you about that faith and religion because I'm very confused. A lot of people, particularly on the far right, like the Mike Johnsons of the world, like the Lauren Boeberts of the world, they'll talk about their faith and their Christianity, yet they'll treat others terribly because of their sexuality, because of the color of their skin. The rich get richer, these big tax cuts for the top 1%. And it's regular, everyday, hardworking Americans and those that are struggling that need food stamps. They need their Medicaid. Isn't that the opposite? I'm not a very religious person. Help me out here.
Yes, that is the opposite. Exactly. That is the exact opposite. And where I had walked away from the Catholic Church because I thought it was going too political, but where it's thankfully, I think, coming back, and it's on folks like me as we're running for office, go back to your faith tradition, run on that, speak and live our values, right? If you're going to be for the lives of other people, then that means like we're going to make sure there is a safety net. and I'm not going to pull it away from my neighbors. I'm going to fight for them to make sure they can take care of their families. Matthew 25 Catholic, what you do to the least of your brothers and sisters, you do unto me.
I wanted to ask you, and again, Trisha Calvarese joining us. She's running against Lauren Boebert in Colorado's 4th Congressional District. If you were on a debate stage right now with Lauren Boebert, and again, I'd love to see that happen. I would imagine Lauren Boebert, that's the last thing that she wants to do, debate anybody, let alone you. But if you were on a debate stage with her right now, and we were talking about this government shutdown, and Lauren Boebert said, you guys are the reason, Democrats are the reasons why we're in this shutdown right now, what would you say to her?
Lauren Boebert, you have the job, dude. Like, you guys have the House, the Senate, and the executive office. What are you doing? Where are the results, man? While hardworking people are working with no pay, right? Get out of here. Like, BS. Yeah. And, I have to give you a lot of credit. I love that. I saw that you did it like a debate with Tim Pool. We have that is so important. That is so important, showing up and debating each other. Boebert would not debate me on TV last year.
Well, she's a coward. She's a coward, just like many of these other MAGA Republicans out there. They don't want debate. And here's what I find. You tell me if you disagree with this or not, but I find when I challenge some of these Republicans, not Tim Pool, but when I challenge some of these Republicans, they see it as an attack, right? They see it as, oh, well, you're attacking my views. You're attacking me. Nancy Mace is probably the biggest snowflake on the planet. I don't know if you saw Stephen Miller's wife on Piers Morgan. I've done Piers Morgan plenty of times. That was a crazy moment where Stephen Miller's wife is being called a liar. It's a personal attack on her. And then she says somehow that was anti-Semitic, which, I mean, that was befuddling to me. I don't know if you had a chance to see that. It seems to me what Republicans seem to blame Democrats for, which is, being a snowflake and, cancel culture. The Republicans have been doing that constantly. That's what I see.
Absolutely. I mean, absolutely. And, seeing Charlie Kirk get murdered like that was horrible. And and I, condemn people on our side for celebrating, like, absolute, that is so wrong. But in that spirit that Charlie Kirk did represent, of that you show up, you debate, you go into the public forum, I call on those MAGA Republicans, live those values. People can see your hypocrisy. Don't say that you're, for Charlie Kirk, but then you don't live those principles. So hopefully Lauren Boebert rights that wrong. And in the spirit that Charlie Kirk represents of open debate, come and debate me, Lauren. Let's go.
Yeah, I'm struggling to think that Lauren Boebert could even spell the word principle. I don't know. I mean, that's just my personal opinion. I have to ask you this about Lauren Boebert, since she's your opponent. I mean, there's so many things I could bring up in this conversation, but one thing that comes to mind for me is these Christmas photos that these Lauren Boebert types come up with, where they give their 5 and 6-year-olds weapons to hold in their hand, AR-15s, for Christmas photos. And I find that to be so repulsive. And I think you have to be some type of sick human being to be giving a 5-year-old a weapon to hold just for a photo, a family photo. Like, to me, it just goes to the mentality of how brainwashed she is. What do you make of that, of the Lauren Boebert types that are obsessed with their weapons and they use it in family photos?
I mean, we deserve better. We deserve better. The families I'm fighting for are family farmers, are family small business owners, the people who are now opening up their, seeing that their health insurance is skyrocketing and how much that's going to hurt their business, their inability to support Colorado. I mean, that's the thing is, I so believe in the dignity of work. And Lauren Boebert's job should come with, it's so much responsibility. It's such a great weight. Like, you are the public servant for our district. And I don't know how that's not a driving principle for her. I just know it is for me. I know it is.
Now, I know, Trisha, you're really laser focused on policy, and you're laser focused on, how do we keep people on these food stamps and get them the help that they need. But Lauren Boebert is your opponent. And there's another thing that I want to bring up, which I find so outrageous. And I know you've talked about this before, but we talk about human decency. And I think we need more of that, of people that are running for office like yourself and people that are in office. And I'm wondering how anybody could vote for a woman who pleasures a man, for lack of a better term, publicly at a play, smokes her vape, treats people like garbage. We all saw it on video. Lies about it until the video comes out and then owns it. And they want to protect children, yet she thinks it's okay at a Beetlejuice play, fondling a man's genitals, for lack of a better term. That's what she was doing.
And then was abusive to the workers who were they're just trying to do their job. that was so bad for her, right? After that Beetlejuice thing, she decided to ditch her district in Colorado 3 that she represented at the time, come over a mountain range, come to Colorado 4, be a carpetbagger where folks here are a little bit less familiar with her BS. So that's exactly what she did. And just to even kind of back up and give you a little bit of history here. So Republican Ken Buck had announced that he wasn't going to run again in 2024. Boebert, announces she's going to carpetbag. But then Ken Buck was like, I've had enough. I'm out. That was March 2024. So that created a 6-month vacancy, and we had a special election to fill it. I was the Democratic nominee. Greg Lopez was the Republican because Boebert couldn't run in that race without leaving Colorado 3. Hannah Goodman, the Libertarian, was also running. And I showed up at the Grizzly Rose. It's a dance hall saloon to debate. I went to every debate I was invited to, and connecting with that libertarian, debating with her, meeting with her, talking about her and her family's history of farming and everything, how connected she is to the land, carrying kind of Hannah's story in mind. I had the absolute honor of reading this week, Hannah, the chair of the Colorado Libertarian Party, has officially become a Democrat, and she credits me. This is the type of movement we need to actually win seats like this. We're not being dogmatic. We're being pragmatic. We're finding the answers, the solutions, and building real coalitions. Because, people are also sick and tired. I'm going to these farms, these ranches. People are like, I want somebody who will actually talk to people, who will actually show up, who will actually work towards solutions. That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing every day. And it's a winning brand of Democrats, right? Like we're having that debate right now of who are we? What do we stand for? I'm an unapologetic economic populist. I am running on that, and to be able to earn, that was organic that Hannah put that out there. So thanks, Hannah. We're gonna, we're going out. We're gonna visit her real soon. That's exactly what we need to win. Yep. That's
a big deal for you. That's a big endorsement, and I think that speaks to you and your character and what you represent. So congratulations on that endorsement. Obviously, I can't vote for you. I would in a heartbeat if I could. I live here in the state, the great state of Nevada. But I do want you to give out that information, how people can get more involved in your campaign, how people can donate. So give out that information so people can follow you. And I do have listeners in Colorado. I get callers from Colorado every single day. Some of them could possibly be your constituents one day. So give out that information, how people could learn a little bit more about you and donate to your campaign.
Thank you so much. So I don't take a cent of corporate PAC money. I am not bought. I don't have Elon Musk as a donor, which Lauren Boebert does. So I depend on all small dollar donors. Trisha, the number 4, Colorado.com. If you could pitch in, anything you can would mean the world. Make it recurring would be great because it's a giant district. We're traveling all through it, would mean the world, and help amplify on social media as well. I'm not buying the internet. I'm doing it all organically. So please pitch in. We are grassroots, but rest assured, we're redefining the Democratic Party to work for rural, to work for the middle class, because there's so many independent voices, and I'm trying to represent all of us. So thank you so much, and let's go, man. Let's fire Boebert.
Yes, let's. I tend to agree with you on that one. Trisha, I love what you're doing. Keep up the great work. You got my support, and we'll have you on again soon. Okay. Thank you so much. Have a great weekend.
You're amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Trisha. There you go, everybody. Trisha Calvarese,